Today, I want to take the opportunity to honor and remember a dear brother and friend to not just myself, but to all of us as a music community. That is none other than Parris Bowens. A few years ago, he tragically passed and left a huge hole in our community. I was pleasured to be able to work with him on some really cool things. And a few years ago, back in 2020, about a year before he passed away, we were able to not only record a masterclass, his last recorded actual masterclass that he did before passing, but we were able to also record a podcast. And so today on the Hangout, I want to share something really, really special with you guys. And this was an interview that we did, again, back in 2020, that's nowhere else on the internet. I think we pulled it down years ago when we shifted some things with my main channel. But as a result, it's back again. So today I want to share with you guys a very, very special episode of the Hangout podcast. And this is a podcast that I was blessed to be able to record with Parris. Probably one of his last recorded interviews as well that we did back in 2020. And we're going to share it with you guys today. And I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope this honors his legacy. You get to see his career. You get to see what he was able to bring. And I pray that this interview blesses you the way it blessed me just by going back and looking at it again after all of these years. So without further ado, let's remember the legend who is Parris Bowens. Parris, for those who have just been living up under a rock and for the last like 2 decades and just don't know who you are, give the folks a proper introduction as to, who you are and what you do.
Well, I am the tiny spicy chicken. I've changed my name.
That's funny.
Basically, excuse me.
Go ahead.
Pastor's son, born and raised Philadelphia. Grew up in ministry.
Philadelphia,
Yep.
born and
in
raised.
North Philadelphia. I'll get in trouble. Anybody who know where I'm from, they be like, "You ain't from West Philly." But grew up in Hunting Park and family of 5 kids, seven household family, and very musical household. Mom is a songwriter, singer. Dad's a musician, multi-instrumentalist, and then every last one of us in my family musically does something. So got my start in Philly, and my first major job or gig was with Tye Tribbett, and straight out of high school. Yeah, like 98, straight out of high school. I think I worked 1 real job.
Wow.
2 within a span of 6 months.
Jeez.
I was working at a farm. I worked at a retirement home serving culinary. I was serving breakfast, and it was so long ago. I mean, literally, it was a blur. It literally didn't last long.
Wow.
Then got promoted and got a job at a pharmacy, and was a pharmacy tech. And they wanted to send me to school to become a pharmacist because I was so focused.
Wow.
It was just like, what kept me focused was listening to the music playing, the elevator music playing in the background. Just imagine getting to rehearsal that night or playing the gig. So I happened to be playing at a joy night at my friend Ryan Bussey's church with a group, John Payton and Holiness. And Tye Tribbett happened to be there.
Wow.
While I'm playing, he comes and stands and is like watching me, the whole group. And it almost seemed like it was history from there. We connected. And not too long after that, I was playing with him. And through him, I just got exposed to everything and everybody. Like, it was a whole other world that I didn't know existed.
Yeah.
I only knew my dad's church. I only knew Philly. I had never really been outside of Philly or nothing like that.
Wow.
So as soon as I got with Tye, I immediately, I think my first engagement with him was in Connecticut for a Youthful Praise event.
Really?
Youthful Praise. This is when
was this before? This was pre-JJ?
Oh yeah, this was when Sean was alive. God bless his soul.
Yeah.
Sean and JJ was together. But it was Youthful Praise, James Hall, and Tye on the bill. And so I get to meet Melvin Crispell, John Peters, Reggie Young,
Jeez.
Eddie Hayward in one night. And
you was like what, 18?
I was 18. Wow. So I met them. I never forget it. I never been to Connecticut before, and Youthful Praise, that's when they were doing God is an awesome God.
Yeah.
Youthful Praise always had a squad. Youthful Praise was always smacking. And of course, James Hall.
Oh yeah, no interest. No,
To hear
no.
Melvin and John Peters, it was a masterclass in itself.
Jesus.
Reggie Young, come on, man. Like they were. So that was my first time playing with him, and then not long after that, we take we go up and down the East Coast, New York, Connecticut, Baltimore, Virginia, DC, and I began to get exposed. GA and Soundcheck started really building something. And we had started working with James Poyser. Okay. He became our producer. He really brought us under his wings, and we started working out of Access Studios on 7th and Collar Hill in Philly. And we was working on the Life album for quite some time.
Yeah.
And in the process of that, the whole Philly neo soul thing was happening. So you had Musiq Soulchild, Jill Scott, Flowetry, Eric Roberson, Vivian Green, Bilal, Glenn Lewis. All these artists was popping up. And there was an event that we would do on Tuesday nights, and it was called the Five Spot at Black Lily.
Okay. And
basically, it was an event that was hosted by the Roots. Like they kind of was the sponsors of the event, I guess. Every Tuesday night, and basically, I think. Hold on, excuse me, that light's blinking.
Oh, it does that.
Is it supposed to do that? Okay, cool. Anyway, so. So every Tuesday night, there was everybody in the city who was old enough to come. You had to be 21 or over to get in there. But musicians, I was 18, 19. We would make our way to the Five Spot, and you can get on the Flowetry. We'd be up there singing. Jill Scott could be up there. Jazzy Fat Nasties, Lady Alma. That's I remember Jasmine Sullivan. She was super young, was singing. And we would just get on it. They would they had basically two entrances. You had the main entrance. And of course, at that entrance, you're getting carded.
Okay.
In the back entrance, it was the led directly to the stage. So they would let the musicians come up that step, get on stage. You could play, and then you had to leave right back out. You couldn't hang out because of the bar and all of that.
Yeah.
So that was one of my first early experiences playing on that scene. And then, of course, out of the same studio that we were working at, Larry Gould's. Well, Larry Gould, in the same building, 7th and Collar Hill, Larry Gould owned the studio. We would be at James Poyser's studio in the back. And you can walk out front to the main studio where Larry Gould's studio was. Gerald Levert would be sitting in there. The late great Gerald Levert. And he was a big brother to me, man. He met me. I would be just hanging out in the lobby, sitting down playing video games or something. And Gerald Levert would come walking in. He's a people person. Yeah. Very, very, he's not shy. The guy is very extrovert. He's funny as jacks. He cuts like a sailor. So he would see me like, "What up, little mother?" Yeah. Yo, I love that dude, man. I genuinely did, man. That was my guy. And he was like, "What do you do, man?" And I'll tell him, I play keyboard. For real? Come here and play on something. So I ended up playing on one of his records. I don't say which one because I always tell my mom probably be a little ashamed. The record I played on, but hey, it happened. I got to work with the late great Gerald Levert.
There you go.
Met a lot of people that way. Macy Gray, Stanley Clark, Nick Lachey. They will all be just. I'm like, what is this place that these famous people are walking in this studio? I never knew that world existed, and I always used to wonder why paparazzi is not on 7th and Collar Hill. Right. Because at any given moment, anybody famous, and if you look in that building, there's so many plaques on the walls from so many. I'm like, they were here and got records. So it was like. It was an eye-opening experience for me to be at that studio. So I ended up playing on so many records because the people would just pull me in because I was sitting in the lobby. Many records I didn't get paid for because I didn't know what I was doing. I was just excited about the opportunity to be in the studio. Yeah. And I found out that it was there. If I could be around any instruments in the studio, be around a mixing board, I was excited to be there. So one great experience it was one major thing happened. So like 2003, 2002 probably, I'm thinking, the whole neo soul thing really brought a lot of attention to Philly. And so artists was trying to come to Philly to get the sound because all these producers, you got Andre, you got Jazzy Jeff's studio. He had Touch of Jazz, which was 6 producers that were partnered and paired up. You had Dre and Vidal, you had Ivan and Carvin, you had Keith and Darren. And these dudes pretty much was that Touch of Jazz crew. Then you had down the street, you had Axis, which was James Porter's studio. And then in his studio, he was developing his own producers as well.
Wow.
You had Questlove and the Roots there. And then you had Larry Gold's spot right there. And then you can go down a couple blocks in Sigma Studios. So it was this community. So anytime an artist would come in the city or anywhere, they would kind of pass through all of these studios to get records. So Bilal would be recording. Jill was recorded. She had already recorded her record by the time I started coming around. Musiq had already recorded his first record. He was the first guy the first R&B artist I've ever played with. And I met Musiq Soulchild years ago in high school.
Wow.
Because he knew a mutual friend of mine. He was actually older than us, but he used to hang around, and you come out after school and he would be outside waiting for my friend Charnay or something, and then we would all walk with him to South Street and go hang out on South Street. And he would introduce himself as Musiq. Me, I was a visual arts major in high school, but I'm like, I'm a musician on the weekend. So I'm like, your name Musiq? And he's like, yeah, I'm Musiq Soulchild. So I'm like, so what you play like everything?
Right.
Like, no, I sing. I'm like, you can't call yourself Musiq if you just sing. You know what I mean? And so that was my experience when I met him. We'd be hanging out, just walking down South Street. I was like, how you gonna be Musiq? You need to be like Prince if you do that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that was my first time meeting him and hanging with him. And then you fast forward all these years later, and a friend of mine's Eric Robeson's dope soul artist out of Philly, Right for Everybody. He put me on and he taught me so much. Eric Robeson wrote for Musiq as well. But through him and Andre Harris, I knew Andre Harris from church, Ford Memorial, all of that. Mm-hmm. Andre was like, yo, we got it's a new artist. He needs a band. He got a single that just came out. So I never forget, I go to RPM Studios down Columbus Boulevard, and there's a rehearsal hall, and I have to meet the artist. And I'm walking into this rehearsal hall, and I see Musiq. Like, dude, what you doing here? I'm not thinking about him in terms of the artist. I'm thinking about him from high school. Yeah. Like, I ain't seen you in 3-4 years. And he like, yo, I'm here. I got to meet this musician. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I got to meet this artist. And we walk in the same room, and I'm literally meeting him. The guy who I was like kind of low-key clowning when I first met him. Like, right. I'm here to play for you, basically. And so my first R&B gig was with the guy I was kind of laughing about in high school. Funny. And the funniest thing about that gig was I had started rehearsals with Musiq. This is his first album. He had some hits on that record, Love, and 143, and
the whole
that album was just incredible, top to bottom.
Yeah.
But I was a church boy first. I always was told you don't do R&B, you don't do secular. It's just like so. We are rehearsing for months, getting ready for a tour with him, and I literally quit because I was so convicted. Like, I'm gonna go to hell for playing this music. I just was afraid to go on the road, and I literally like quit the tour. Wow. Yo, it had to be like maybe a week or some change before the tour started. We had been rehearsing all this time. It was me, Eric Tribbett, and Ben Kenny. It was a 3-piece band, and DJ Active. And I literally was scared, just spiritually scared. And I'm like, wow, I can't do it. So I walked away from the tour. And I mean, granted, a decision like that could really destroy your career. Ain't nobody gonna hire you ever again, But it didn't. I ended up getting pretty close to Ivan Barrios, who was one of the Touch Jazz producers. Okay. He became a big brother to me. I happened to meet him at Larry Gold's studio, sitting in the lobby, just like I met Gerald Levert. And Ivan found out that I played, and he invited me.
We just need to, like, so to really launch our careers as musicians and producers, we just need to go like start sitting in lobbies.
That's the
just
key.
Go sit. Just
it's
find,
called the sit-in. You do a sit-in.
Do a sit-in. Just go find a lobby.
But the chair has to be burgundy.
Okay, find
a burgundy chair
in a lobby.
So that's the key.
And just sit there and wait for somebody famous to walk.
I was playing Dreamcast.
Okay, Dreamcast.
Y'all remember that game, the Dreamcast, back in the day. Crazy Taxi, if y'all remember that.
Oh yeah. Crash Bandicoot and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to do but get you an Xbox One. Yep. Go sit in somebody's lobby in a burgundy chair and just wait for the gig to find you.
And I mean, well, part of what I would do also, Larry Gold had 3 rooms back then. Well, when I first started, he didn't have 3 rooms. He was building his 3rd room. But he had the A room was a pretty dope, big room, XSL mixed board, the whole 9. You walk into the live room, he has a huge, beautiful, grand piano sitting there, and you got these different booths and rooms. One for the drums, the Hammond is in another, and then you got the big live room. So I'd never seen nothing like that before. Clearly, it's a $1 million room.
Yeah.
And so the piano was so amazing. When nobody was in there recording, I would just go in there and shed. So some people would actually hear me shed and play, like, come play on this record. And so when I met Ivan met me in that studio, and hey, yo, come play on this record. And he was working out of you had the A room, the B room, and you had the J room. He's working out that middle room.
The C, D, E, F, G.
Right. It was weird. None of those other numbers. It was just a J. It was weird.
Right.
So the B room was like a smaller production room.
Okay.
Still had the old tape machines and all that stuff.
Nice.
And real intimate room. And I went in there with Ivan, and on Musiq's second album. We worked on Musiq's second project. And I ended up playing Don't Change, which was a big single. I'll love you if your hair turns gray.
Yeah,
and I'm dating my wife at the time, and that was a song that I dedicated. That's our song. I dedicated that song to her. But I'm playing Rhodes, and you hear me, Rhodes and Wurlitzer are on that record. And then I did some Stop Playing on that record. And then there was another song. We did the remake of George, what's his name from the Beatles? George. I'm messing it up. Please forgive me.
It's like,
but he had a song called Something in the Way She Moves. We did that.
I remember that. Yeah.
So I started working with Ivan a lot. We just had a good relationship. He was just my big brother, and he always what up? And he would just call me, and he would always call me up and come. So when they built their own studio eventually, I ended up kind of working with them a lot and did some different records with them. And he taught me production. He taught me logic. He taught me the music business.
Jeez.
This is what you get paid when you do it. So all this time before that, I wasn't getting paid for stuff. Now, Gerald Levert paid me, but a lot of other people, sometimes I would just go walk in because I just was hyped.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure some of them people didn't know I wasn't doing paperwork. They was like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Finish playing it and walk away.
Yeah, they probably
didn't think nothing about it.
Yeah.
But Ivan was like, yo, where's your paperwork? You know what you're doing? You supposed to be. So he really broke the business down to me. And Ivan was a major mentor to me. And so moving on from there, I didn't, GA was still in the process. We would still be doing our gigs on the weekends and doing things like that. But, you had Thaddeus, who back then we called Tye Tribbett. He was playing with Jill Scott from her first record. So after her first record, she had Derek Hodge playing. And I think Derek Hodge got Thaddeus on that gig. So everybody saw Thaddeus playing with Jill, and she was hot when Jill came out. She had one of the dopest shows. Her band was amazing. That band was one of my favorite bands back in that time. They kind of they set the bar. She had Eric Tribbett drums, Thaddeus Tribbett on bass, Pete Kuzma on keys, Jeff Bradshaw trombone, Matt Cappy trumpet, Carol Riddick background, Vivian Green was singing background, Jersey Mason was on percussion. Wow. They had a squad. And they set such a bar with the bands in Philly. So everybody wanted to get on a neo soul gig. Yeah. So of course I blew it with the Musiq Soulchild gig, but I started traveling with Eric Roberson. I was doing a lot of dates and gigs with him. And Eric was another guy who literally taught me the business. He had a studio in Rahway, New Jersey called the Blue Room in his house. That thing was amazing. And that dude had a wall of records and CDs. He just had a catalog of music. He taught me how to use the MPC. He taught me how to use a VS 1680 back in the day.
Oh, yeah, that was a John.
Yeah, I learned how to cut records, and he gave me my first production credit. Doing on his Esoteric album, I did my first production credit. Like I produced 2 songs on that record, and Eric just gave me a chance and just taught me everything, and I learned a lot from him in those days. But I went back, but one of the biggest experiences that happened for me, because of the whole blow up of neo soul, people were coming to the city, and they would come to the city to either get the producers, get the musicians, or Larry Gold, who was a string arranger. This is old Jewish white guy. He was an amazing string arranger. Wow. He has history. He came from the Gamble and Huff days. Wow. So he builds this studio called The Studio, and he mainly uses it to be a string orchestrator, a conductor. And God gave me favor with him, man. Like I met Larry Gold, and it's funny because you got this little black kid. When you would come to this building, you would go to the 3rd floor, and you walk down the hall and come, and then you would see this big door, and there's a buzzer, and you have to push the buzzer. And like I forget when the first time somebody invited me to the studio, I went and pushed the buzzer, and I'm like, it beeps and you'd be like, hello, who is it, the studio? I was like, Parris. I'm like, these people don't know me. You know, it wasn't like what you hear for nothing.
Right.
All I just remember hearing was buzz. Opens up, I go in. Don't know nobody in there, but I'm in there hanging out, and that I met him, Larry Gold, and he's the owner of the place. Hey, how you doing, man? And you just, okay. What do? You play? Okay, I'd love to hear you play sometime. And get on the piano in his studio, and he'd hear me. And for some reason, God gave me a favor with him, and he would always allow me to just be around.
Wow.
And so what happens is Justin Timberlake, remember, NSYNC was huge coming out in the 90s. Justin Timberlake took a break from NSYNC and wanted to start his solo career. So who did he go to start his solo career? Timbaland and Neptunes.
Okay.
They were the two hottest at the time.
Yeah.
So Timbaland comes to the city on Justin's first record to get Larry Gold to do strings on one of Justin's biggest records, Cry Me a River.
Yeah.
So he comes to get the strings done from Larry, and he needs some more. I want a choir. Who did they call? Tye Tribbett and GA. So Tye Tribbett and GA is in the studio cutting vocals. My wife is one of the singers, so I knew the whole, even if I wasn't invited, the band wasn't necessarily invited, but I remember Thaddeus ended up playing bass on that record, on Cry Me a River. So when you hear that bass, it's Tye Tribbett, Thaddeus Tribbett playing bass. Wow. I didn't get invited to the party on that one. The choir, Thaddeus, I remember I was home in my apartment, and I just get a phone call from Larry Gold. Hey, Parris, get your A down here. I'm like, what's up? Timbaland's here. He needs somebody to play keys. He said, Omar's not here. He's out of town. Omar is your usual, like, Omar got in with the Roots. My boy Omar Edwards, incredible, one of my favorite musicians. MDs for everybody. Omar was usually the go-to guy. Like, you gonna get a session done, you got Omar, you got June, James Poyser. I'm the baby brother out of the crew. So Omar happened to not be in town. I think he might have been out with the Roots. And Timbaland needed somebody to play keys on the record. So he got, so he says, Parris, get your A down here. Timbaland needs somebody to play. I'm like, Timbaland? I jumped on the first bus. Right. Got down. I don't know how. I got there fast. I got there fast. I walked in the A room, their big room, and there's an entourage of people in their room. Them producers back in the day, it was always people that didn't have no purpose, just be in the room. So some of it was GA, some of it was Tye, but it was Timbaland in the middle. So I remember walking in the room, and Larry's like, you do your thing, man. KK, all of that. So I'm like, shook, the pressure's high. Timbaland is one of my favorite producers ever. So I'm walking in the room, and I'm about to meet my hero. I walk in, and it's an entourage of people sitting there, and I just see Timbaland sitting on the couch, and Larry's introducing me. Here's the young fellow. He's a monster. He's amazing. You're gonna love him. And I'm like, thanks. I'm very shy. Thanks for the pressure. And Timbaland is just kind of sizing me up, like I'm like, what? Yeah. And he like, yeah, ain't nobody better than Devontae. Kind of like gave me one of those. I was like, what you mean? So I'm like thinking, Jodeci Devontae? I was like, now don't get it twisted. I'm a huge fan of Jodeci. They was amazing. They was incredible. But I'm like, they wasn't really doing that. So I'm like, it's been a lot more keyboard players out there since then. Right. And no shade by no means. I mean, that dude set the bar. So he kind of gave me that shade, like, ain't nobody really seen Devontae, so I don't expect you to really do anything. You're a church player, that whole thing. So he had them set up this clavinet on the side on the wall on the other side of the room. Okay. And they put a wah-wah pedal down. And his engineer, y'all don't know, the legendary Jimmy Douglas, was engineering the session. Sheesh. Big black man with big dreads. He's legendary. Yeah. They set up the clavinet, which I've never played ever in my life. I played clavinet sounds on keyboards, but I never played the real thing. Like the real thing. So he sets a wah-wah pedal up, and then he turns on a Timbaland beat in the most epic fashion. Heavy kicks, like layered, and it's just the percussion is going, and you just like, he turned the track on, and I'm like, the pressure is on. Right. So the beat is going, and Timbaland pretty much just go play. So I walk over. So if you imagine this is the room, this is the SSL board, the engineer. Timbaland is on the couch here. There's a bunch of people sitting around. The clavinet is on the wall. So when I walk from the door across the room, and my back is to everybody. So I'm having a conversation with myself. Parris, dog. Like, don't do at that time. Don't mess this up. Church musicians play too much. We just play too much. We just overplayed everything. Over jazz, overplayed, over chorded everything. I'm like, it's a clavinet number one. I never played one. I never touched one before. He turns the track on and it's in red.
Yeah.
And he's expecting me to play. And so I go over there and I'm talking to myself, don't you mess this up. Just find a pattern and stay with it. So I found like the track is going. So I find a pattern with that clavinet. I start doing the percussion thing, but found some kind of pattern, melody. And I'm performing. I got my... I was like, Parris, feel it, dude. You know, I'm just talking to myself the whole way through. You know, when I felt the B section kind of come up in the track, I came up with a B section. Okay.
Yeah.
And you know, in hip hop and those kind of beats, you don't do a lot. It ain't too much. So track went off and I'm sweating.
Right.
So I turn around, the room is quiet, and I look at Timbaland and he like, whoever was sitting right next to him, he's like, move. And he was like, yo, come here, man. His spirit just changed. He's like, yo. He put his arm around me. Yo, how long you been playing?
Wow.
I've been playing since I was 11, just kind of go to my story. Grew up in church. And I'm like, he just took a liking to me and his favor. And so I'm like, all I'm thinking of in my mind is, how did the track sound?
Right.
How did it come out? And I was like, was the track cool? He's like, oh man. He said, you killed it. He said, I got some more for you. And from that moment on, anytime Timbaland came to the city, he called me.
Jeez.
So what happened was, I don't even remember who that record was for. It might have been Bubba Sparks. But I thought I was going to be on a Justin Timberlake record, and I didn't make it on a Justin. I made it on Bubba. And then he would come back, and we did I played on 7, 8 records on Bubba Sparks' record. Then he started coming to New York, the Manhattan Center in New York. And if he was like, yo, I'm only 2 hours away. You want to come up to New York? Get on the train, come to New York. I'll go to New York, go to the Manhattan Center with him. We start working on Brandy's Aphrodisiac record. And so I ended up doing a couple records on that with him. And then he wanted to do a deal with me at some point. But again, I was still a part of GA. That was my best friends, and we're building something. Now, we got signed to Sony.
Okay.
And how we got signed was, I'm like, it was not a normal thing. Like, we were playing with, now we were working with James Poyser. We were signed to James Poyser.
Okay.
Access Studios, and him and his partner Chauncey Childs. But we were doing Vivian Green. Vivian Green was one of their artists that she used to sing background with Jill. Okay. That's how we all knew each other. Viv. So when it came time for her to do her showcase for Columbia for Sony, we were the band. Me, Tye, Spank, Fad, I think Bananas as well. So we went to Electric Lady Studios in New York, Jimi Hendrix studio. That studio's a beast. And we did her showcase for the top Sony guys, whoever the main people were at that time, they were there. Just suits. And so we're playing, and now if you know anything about Tye, GA, Soundcheck, animated when we play. We like bunnies. Everything is a hop, a dance, your head is bopping. And Viv is a very sultry, soulful singer, you know. So you see somebody who's singing, she's doing her thing, and we up there we over there going crazy. So the executives were looking at us. Yeah. They looking over there. So they're looking at her and they're looking at us so when it's all over, and I'm paraphrasing because I details or whatever. Story, but basically, they're like, do y'all guys like her? They were like, yeah, she's amazing. We want her. They was like, but who's the band? And it's like, oh, it's a gospel group we got too. It's like, yeah, we want them too. God. So that's kind of I know I'm probably, making it, but in so many words, we got signed not playing gospel. We got signed to Sony not playing gospel. We were playing secular music for another artist and ended up getting a deal. They hadn't even seen the choir for a while. That's crazy. And we had a deal. So we working on life and so on and so forth. So my relationship with Timbaland kind of came to an end as GA was kind of starting to really pick up. And then once Life came out, that was it was like GA, we went through so much where we were singing churches because we were so radical that we would get in trouble. Y'all wild and that ain't of God, and we would get kicked out of churches and all kind of stuff. And then that Life came out. No Way hit radio, which is a song that I co-wrote with Tye and Spank and Thaddeus. And that just kind of created in the rehearsal. We was just sitting in the rehearsal. I'm playing my Triton Express lead. Yeah. And then the way we all work out in Soundcheck is somebody initiates something, everybody jumps in. Right. And then Tye, while the choir's getting on stage, no way. Just kind of start rocking it. And it kind of formulated. Wow. But that was the first single that really took off. And for a long time, we were known as the No Way
Yeah.
The No Way.
I remember
the No Way people.
I remember,
the
I remember when that
dance.
record came out, man. When I remember hearing it on the radio and was like, yo, who is this? Because the vibe was just so different than anything that was like currently like on the market. Like, you know, we had our conversations how Aaron Lindsay and Iz were like starting the conversation. They started the conversation.
Yeah, they hit hard when they came out.
So they started like Iz and Aaron. I'm called Aaron.
Right.
It's long. There's too many people
Aaron
in gospel.
Lindsay.
Right. It's too many people in gospel named Aaron that do stuff. But Aaron Lindsay, it's been a long day too. Aaron Lindsay and Iz started a conversation. Yeah. All right. Then Tye Tribbett and GA came on and they started a conversation in Spanish. You know? It's like a whole nother language. Yeah. Like, what in the world is this? Who are these guys?
That was some crazy times, man. Yeah. I mean, man. And
so
it's weird that it's so long ago.
Yeah.
It feels like it was yesterday. The way I remember everything, it feels like yesterday.
So you got to tell the story about how the band actually got the name Soundcheck. I know people.
There's a couple different.
Okay, a couple different variations.
Yeah, I've heard people in Soundcheck say different things about how Soundcheck formulated. So before I even came on, the band initially was Pudge, Terry, Dana, and Omar. Omar started off with GA. Okay. He was the first organist. Dana was the mains. Omar was the organist. It was a 4-piece band. Omar leaves to go take a job with For Memorial, and it was a vacancy for a while. So you had just Dana and different people jumped in, but nothing stuck. So I'm like, when I first saw GA, I'm like, that's my seat. I knew it.
Wow.
I knew it. I was like, how do I get there? How do we get connected? And then of course, in that time period, that was like a 2-year span. That's when Tye saw me playing that time, and then it all kind of came full circle. And so I got a part of the band. When I started playing, Pudge had went off to go to college to play football. Eric Tribbett is who I really came in with.
Okay.
So I met Eric Tribbett first, and then he kind of really helped nurture the connection between me and Tye. Even after Tye saw me, Eric was the one who stayed in contact with me. Okay. And he like, yo, bro, you belong with this band. Like, you were born to be with it. Like, it was like, so he really was very instrumental in me becoming a part of GA. So me, Eric, when I came on, there was another keyboard player by the name of Mike Williams.
That's my dad's name.
It is? He was, I think Mike from Commission too.
Right.
But Mike was.
That's a popular name.
So Mike was he was an aux player.
Okay.
Mike did not play mains.
Wow.
He did not play piano. He did not play in it. He strictly played strings, bells, whistles, lead sounds. And he did it well. Yeah. I was like, yo, you don't play nothing else? Like, I wasn't used to it. So he was a strict aux player. Dana would be on organ. Yeah. And it would be no mains player. It would just be an aux and an organist.
Wow.
Nobody on mains. So it was a vacancy. So when Tye saw me, I started coming around. So the band went through some dispensations. But I'll never forget, at one point, we didn't have a drummer. Okay. Because everybody was like Pudge in school. I think Eric was probably out on tour. But so we had to do this gig at Children's Hospital in Philly. We were singing maybe a Christmas event, something. And we on stage playing, and there's no drummer. Wow. And it's me, Terry, I think the horns, or just a horn maybe, and the choir. So Tye made the audience clap to keep the beat. Okay. And we were playing, and I don't know what prompted Bones to go outside. Bones is one of the main tenors of GA. Okay. He went outside, and he somehow found out that Spanky was out there. Okay. Just either driving by or something random. I'm like, huh? Spanky comes running in and jumps on the drums, and he never got off. Wow. It was like, this is the perfect. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. When Spanky came on the band, we weren't necessarily, everybody wasn't necessarily used to his approach and the way he played. Spanky was very, time signatures and things like that. We used to Pudge, he would hammer down. Yeah. He played more like, we always called Pudge the MPC. Wow. And Spanky came in, he had a lot more tricks and things of that nature. So it was a difference for us, and I had to adjust to it because I'm like, yo, me and Pudge is ride or die. Like me and him were the same age. Right. We were the babies. And so Spank came on, it was an adjustment. But I know him and Tye talking, and Tye was like, yo, You ride with me, I ride with you. And then Spanky became the drummer. And so that band started meshing. That we started like Tye would like make his music fit the pieces that were there. So he would create moments and moods based on the kind of stuff Spanky would play. So everybody, come on. Like he would do stuff with the rhythms.
Right.
And that really played to how Tye began to arrange, write, do stuff. And so our sounds started coming together. The way Soundcheck came together in name, as I perceived it, we would do mad stuff in Soundchecks. Ideas. We just shed. We didn't rehearse. Like the band, people always thought we rehearsed a lot. We didn't rehearse a lot. We was just together all the time. We listened to music all the time. We would be listening to Yellow Jackets, Weather Report, Jay Dilla, Busta Rhymes, Bad Boys. Like we would listen to everything, and we always, that's crazy. And then it would just come out live on a show, on a set. So we would be in sound checks just doing some crazy idea. Thaddeus was always composing something. He would be on that bass coming up with some crazy whatever. And we would be like, oh, that's crazy. Everybody would be adding to the pot. Oh, that's crazy. We'd be in sound checks going crazy, coming up with these ideas. And so Tye, from what I remember, would be on stage, and his signal word for us to play what we played in soundcheck was soundcheck, to let us know to play. That's what I remember. To let us know, play what you played in soundcheck.
That's so
and
dope.
It sounded like the name. So I heard some people say this person came up with the name, this person, that should be our name. Whoever made it up, whatever. But I just remember it being a signal word.
That was what it was for you.
Like, play what you played in soundcheck, because we keep creating ideas in soundcheck. Which was an amazing name. I thought that was incredible.
That was. And so it fit the aesthetic of what you guys' music was. It fit the aesthetic. I mean, and it was like you said, the signal that something's
like the
something
sign.
Crazy is about to happen.
And
bro,
see,
and you're like sound check,
right. Even when we were doing like we would do No Way, no way, I can make it out here. I can't even tell John what you want. No way. And then we get to that breakdown. It's just a breakdown. The choir's doing this.
Right.
Sound check, help me out.
Right.
That was a cue word.
Sheesh.
You know what I'm saying? So the name became, to me, it was a cue. And then it's just made sense. Somebody did have the right idea to say, that should be the name. But what I remember it being is a cue word for us to do something that we was doing in soundcheck. And
it fit the aesthetic though.
It was dope. Man, when I say the stuff that the public has heard, they haven't heard what we really was doing. Like what was published, produced, was very much tame compared to what we really, the stuff.
Like what you did on the road.
If GA and Soundcheck stayed together, we had at least 2-3 more albums in us. Easy. Of material that never was made it out. Like I can think of songs like, that was it never came out. These people only people who was in the area who saw us at Baltimore and saw us, and then we would just be randomly pulling us. And Tye, one thing I can say about Tye, man, it's so important to have a front man who's fearless. Like I've noticed in gospel music, one of the, like you would see these different dynamics, like you got a great front man, but the band is okay, background is okay. Or you would have the background singers is killing, the front man is a little weak, the band is okay. Or you have a killer band, weak front man, dope background singers. In our case, you had dancing singers, you had an animated band, and you had a fearless front man. So usually when a band is as aggressive as what we were, usually that intimidates a front man. Front man, like, you gotta dumb it down because it's getting in the way. Tye was a musician first. So he was just as much soundcheck as we were. So he would encourage the crazy changes, licks, runs, time signatures, and he would just write to it. There was gigs that we would do with Tye where he would be like, the atmosphere is heavy in here. It's a heavy spirit. You're like, soundcheck, go out there and play. Set the atmosphere, and then we're gonna come out. Wow. What do you mean go out there and play? Go out there and play something. Break the atmosphere up, and then we're gonna come out. Not play what you rehearsed. Right. Which most likely we didn't rehearse. It was like, go out there and play. And
just make something up.
For me, my anxiety was on a beam. Like, what in the world does this mean? His brother was like, let's go.
Right.
And Spank like, let's go. They all run out there, let's go. And we would create stuff on the spot. To those people, it was something that we rehearsed.
Sheesh.
We literally just made it up.
Sheesh.
And then Tyler would come up like, in the building, right to go. He would come out there and do it. And I grew to understand, like I was talking about growing those muscles.
Yeah.
It was those kind of pressured environments that I grew confidence and learned, this is where I live. We live here.
Yeah.
We create here on the stage in front of audiences. Like, there were songs that was made in front of audiences that, you know what I mean? So it was a very invigorating experience being a part of GA and Soundcheck.
Yeah,
it was, man, and those were my early adult years. So Tye taught me a whole lot. He taught me creativity, most of all. Like, be creative, be open. There were times when Tye would come up to my keyboard and just switch the dial and be like, I don't want to hear another Roots. I don't want to hear another piano. Play any sound. And he would turn to a sound and play that. It'd be like, Tye, you don't know what the sound gonna be. It'd be an accordion. Play the accordion.
Wow.
Create. And he would challenge us. And it made me a much better musician and taught me to think on my feet. It taught me to, to try things that I wouldn't normally try. Wow. Even if it made people look odd at first, like, what's that?
Right.
No, you're the one late to the party, not me.
Right.
Once you get the revelation of what I'm doing, you're gonna love it.
Jeez.
He was a beast at that. And he was fearless, and he taught me. And I was a very fearful person. Yeah. And he was a very fearless person, and he really instilled in me the ability to just, if God gives you a sound, you hear something, launch with it, and trust that what you heard, they'll get it eventually. They may not get it right away. They'll get it. Mm-hmm. And so even to fast forward, that was I left the group in 2008. So it's been 2020. It's been 12 years. Like, since I've been with the group, played with them. And I could still probably, if we were to play today, I could do the gig without rehearsal. I could mostly, I say I could do 85% perfect gig. You know what I mean? Like, if it was just without rehearsal. And I'm sure most of those guys could.
So I hate to interrupt, but I hope you got some extreme value from this podcast so far. There's more to share. But in the meantime, I want to also tell you guys about the masterclass that we did with Parris. During this time when we recorded this podcast, we actually recorded a probably 4 to 5 hour long masterclass on how to play aux. You can actually see a little bit of it back behind me, but this is Parris's offering that he left to us. And as a bonus, we're going to be giving it away to everyone free for the rest of this week. You guys can actually just click the link down in the description of this video and be able to download it completely free and watch it completely free. So that's just what I wanted to share with you guys. Make sure you go take advantage of this. Let's keep honoring Parris's legacy. Back to the show.
And we were that close, man. It wasn't just a band, it was a family. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So, I had to leave for family reasons and things of that nature. Yeah. And, my wife and I, we were 4 years married, and we had lost our first baby on the road. And most people don't know. Yeah. When we left, yes, God told me it was time to leave, but my heart wanted a family when I lost my first baby. It was like, I didn't know how much I wanted my family until it was a stillborn. So I'm looking at my son. Jesus. We had to name him. Jesus. They did the whole birth, the death certificate, the whole nine. Jesus. And
this is on the road.
We were coming back from somewhere, and my wife was pregnant. She was just traveling with us. Water breaks while she's on the bus. Jesus. And we had to pull over and go to a hospital and deliver the stillborn baby. And I got to hold my son and look at him and name him. Jesus. And I'm looking at my face, and that was when I realized, at that point, I had been chasing my career and all of this. Yeah. And I'm like, yo, I remember crying, looking at my baby, like, I wanted you. I really did want you. I really did want you. And it was just, I remember the moment like it was yesterday. And from that moment, my heart, and I never expressed this to nobody. Right. At the time. Yeah. Only me and my wife really knew what that pain meant, at the time. And so we kind of carried that, and it was the beginning of me moving in a direction that was like, maybe this is not everything. Yeah. I love GA. I love the experience. And a lot of people criticize me for my leaving. Like, dude, you broke the band up, you broke the vibe. If you ever go through that kind of thing, you lose a child. Yeah. It doesn't compare. No. To as amazing as these career experiences are, nothing compares to that. Mm-hmm. And I'm so grateful for the fact that God gave me 2 beautiful children. The year I left GA was the year I had my first son.
Wow.
My son Matthew, and he was born premature and went through a lot of complications. But had I been on the road, I don't know what had happened. Had we been on the road again, we could have lost another child. So it was the timing of God.
That's amazing. And this is those moments where I call the story behind the glory. Right. Because people don't know those stories, like you said. They don't know that part of the story. Mm-hmm. To, like I think I was telling you earlier before we got on, like to the observing eye, we saw you leave GA and saw you go there, but then the next time we see you, you were right. You know, right. Doing that joint on the what was that, a live record or whatever it was. I'm thinking about the Jesus at the Center.
Oh, they was doing Jesus at the Center, yeah.
Jesus at the Center record. That's at least for me, that was one of the next places that I saw. I know there were some other things in between there, right? But the next like big place I saw you was there. And so to the observing eye, right, we don't see your career stop.
It was so many cover stories, man. I used to hear rumors, man, and I've never been a person that's been a part of rumor mills ever in my life. So it was weird when I left. I'm hearing people say, yeah, Parris. I would look on YouTube and see people say, what happened to Parris? Oh, he went to work for Disney. Huh? Now, that would have been amazing. I wish that was the case. And I was telling you earlier, I said, what happened with me and my wife after we left GA? We were homeless.
Jesus.
We trusted God. God said, yo, roll out. The season is up. I have a plan for y'all. And I'm like, I ain't feeling that, God. And then the Lord started speaking to my wife and then confirmed things. And it's time to leave. And it was a very hard, are you kidding me? To leave. Yeah. I was out of high school and I was with them for 10 years from high school. So the only thing I knew in my adult life was GA. That was my only experience, work experience. You know, I was protected by Dana, Tye, Thad, plus they're my big brothers. Yeah. So I was guarded. I was protected. And then to leave and enter into an adult life at 28. And I actually felt like I was 18 at that point. Wow. Like, oh, this is now me becoming an adult. I thought I was an adult when I was 18. No, at 28, I was now like, oh, now I'm an adult. Wow. And now I got a wife. Wow. And she's pregnant. Wow. Oh, shoot. Yeah. I don't got no money. I don't got a job. I quit my job to be obedient to God. So people thought I left Tye to go to something else. I left Tye to follow God. Wow. And I literally was like, okay, I'll never forget, me and my wife were sitting in our house and we can't pay rent right now. Sheesh. We about to lose our spot. Sheesh. What we gonna do? And I said, Lord, give me a plan. I said, I'm not gonna trip. I trust you. You told me to leave. You're gonna provide. And God gave us a solution how to get out of the situation. We ended up moving to Baltimore, living in a room with some of our good friends in Baltimore. And just was going to our church, sitting in the back, faithful. Just no money, no job. Had a car note to pay and I couldn't pay that. Jesus. And little by little, I went through a wilderness season where I'm like, everybody's gonna forget about me. Wow. I'm not gonna matter no more. Everything I worked so hard to build with GA, and I left GA with nothing. I mean, if there was equipment that I bought, I left because I didn't want there to be no drama. Right. I didn't want them to think I'm leaving out of spite. I mean, I wasn't angry. It was nothing like that. God told you. It was literally like, I'm hearing God. I was heartbroken that I had to leave. Heartbroken. I've been there. But I trust God. I was like, Lord, I trust you. Yeah. I'm gonna rock with you. Yeah. You got me this far. You got me the wife I have. You got me to this place, to this gig. I wouldn't even be. And that one of the songs I co-wrote with Tye, Mighty Long Way. Wow. Like that's my testimony. He brought me a mighty long way. So Jesus. When I got to that point, I'm like, if you brought me here, I gotta trust you. So we end up moving to Baltimore. Our family found out we was moving to Baltimore when we were moving to Baltimore. Hey, mom and dad, we're moving to Baltimore. When? What? Right now. As we're driving to Baltimore to move. They found out then. It was a major faith step. And we moved to Baltimore and I didn't know what it meant. I knew we needed to be near my pastor. We needed to hear the word of God. Yeah. We needed to know where to go next. My pastor didn't know I was coming. Yeah. So we stayed out of the youth pastors. We stayed in the youth pastors, a room in their house. And I just knew, Lord, I was like, Lord, I need some income. Mm-hmm. And for some reason, my pastor spotted me walking into this church, sent his armor bearer to me and said, hey, pastor says when you hear it, just play the organ, get on the organ. So I get on the organ and they'll give me a little love offering. And then I'm like, I'm going back, God, I'm like, this is cool. Yeah. But I need a certain amount of money. Right. I need about 5. Right. Next time, I walk in the office, pastor's like, what are we giving you?
Wow.
I was like, yo, you're like, like 200, 250. He's like, we're gonna give you 5.
Lord,
what I asked God for, they gave me.
Lord, I should have asked the
Right.
Lord for 8.
I should have asked for 5,000. Shoot.
Right.
So I experienced, like, my wife and I walked with God. That was scary.
Oh, yes.
And we moved to a foreign land, to Baltimore.
I know
to be around the word of God, to be around to hear the word of God, the man of God preach.
Mm-hmm.
And in that place, everything I had learned with Tye, I now had to pour into that place.
Yeah.
So it was like, this helped this church grow.
Wow.
From everything you learned from Tye for 10 years.
Wow.
So I became the minister of music at the church, grew and developed. And when it seemed like when my season, I came to a certain point in that season, and then my phone rung, and it was Aaron Lindsay, and he was like, "Hey,
Jesus."
He's like, "Little bro, what's good, man?" I said, "Yo, what's up, Aaron?" He's like, "Yo, I'm here in Houston. Tye Tribbett and GA's here in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if that's you on the stage or not. The guy's a little heavier than you.
Mm-hmm.
Did you gain weight?" And I'm like, "No, I'm in Baltimore, bro."
Oh, wow.
And he was like, "Oh," and it was my boy Larry Farmer. He was playing. And people think me and Larry's brothers sometimes, and I can see that. It makes sense. But he was like, "I ain't seen you in a while. Maybe he gained a little weight,
Uh-huh.
And I was like, "Nah." I moved to Baltimore. I left the group, and I let him know what was going on, and he encouraged me because Aaron Lindsay at one point had to leave New Breed as well.
Right.
So he understood what it meant to walk away from something that you were very intimately involved with. And so he encouraged me, man. It was just like, he said, God's going to bless you from here. Don't worry. You listen to him, you'll follow me. He told me how God blessed him and so on and so forth. So after all of that, he was like, "Listen, I'm producing," what'd he say? "I'm about to do this Byron Cage record. You want to do it with me?" I'm like, "Of course, yes." But for some reason, that didn't work out. That was the Faithful to Believe record.
Yeah.
I think Byron Cage decided to use his guy.
That was probably one of his underrated records. Yeah.
So, that record is amazing.
Yeah.
So, I was like, dang, I just missed out on my chance to do, work with Aaron Lindsay.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was like, "Hey, Sap is about to record again.
Okay.
You want to do that?" I was like, "Absolutely."
Yeah.
So, he flew me and Buddy. He flew, Buddy Strong. Y'all know the legendary, amazing Buddy Strong. So, he flew me and Buddy down to Houston. And the three of us sat in a room and we took the records that were submitted and we divided amongst us which records we was going to arrange. He's like, "I need y'all to be my team. Help me arrange out this record." Parris took 3 songs, Buddy took 3 songs, and Aaron took the rest. And whatever songs we arranged, we also MD'd or played mains for. So at the Aaron Lindsay, at the Marvin Sapp recording, the Here I Am recording, if you look at the video, it's 3 keyboards in the middle. He did that intentionally because we were the 3 guys who kind of directed the record.
That makes sense.
And so for me, I took Comfort Zone, Keep Holding, and I did More Than a Conqueror. And I arranged those out. And I mean, it was my first time doing anything that big outside of Tye, not that wasn't secular.
Mm-hmm.
And Marvin Sapp had just done Never Would Have Made It. So that record was a huge hit.
Yeah.
So all eyes was on him at the time. So that record, this was another hit record. He Saw the Best in Me was a great record. And from there, I went to work with Aaron Lindsay on a couple of different things. Judy Jacobs, we did a Judy Jacobs record, I Feel a Change. Jeez. And that record was incredible. That was an underrated record people don't even know about.
Yeah.
But I Feel a Change was me, Daryl Freeman, Calvin Rogers, Justin Savage, Rick Watford. Crazy squad. Y'all gotta go check that record out. Did Jonathan Nelson's Expect the Great record. Most people don't know. They know Kenny and Little Will. Yeah. I was the guy on the 3rd tier at the top playing aux on that record. That was an amazing experience. And then went on to do some different things. Started working with Myron Butler after that. Did Tanya Baker and did some different things. Kiara Shear's record. Different things of that nature.
The history, dog, it's just crazy. Like I was talking with Herb Powers. And remember I was telling you about the conversation with Herb, and we were talking. And because I want to drop, you dropping all these names. I want to drop a name too. Let me drop a name.
No, ain't like that.
No, I'm just messing. So I remember I was talking with Herb Powers, and he was telling me all of these stories similar to some of the stories to not like the same people, but just from his world, his perspective. And I was talking with him, and he was just dropping all of this knowledge and his wisdom and all these stories with these people. And I told him, I was like, man. I was like, the people that are making history, when they're making it, they don't realize that they're making history.
Not at all.
To them, it's just another day. It's just Tuesday. It's just Wednesday. It's just Monday.
Yeah.
It's Sunday. It's January. It's June. You know, and this person came in, or it's this gig, or it's that. And so listening to your story, I'm pretty sure like everybody else is listening right now is like, my God. Like,
well, I'll say this.
Strong, Aaron Lindsay, the people you're working with, like, you're legend because you work with it. And then you listen, the person that you listen to, you realize it blows my mind because, like, I didn't know personally that you were a part of all of those records. Yeah. That's the crazy part.
A small part. We all,
yeah.
But at the same time, what you were saying, most of us don't know where that is history. The reality is, all of us are making history.
That's good.
The question is, where are you at in the story? And a lot of us, if you haven't reached whatever the heights of success, then you don't think you're making history.
Right.
No, you're at the wilderness part, maybe.
Yeah.
And I was sharing what the journey was after I left Tye and those things, because that was a dark period. And the reason why I share the names and the people I played with is because I thought I was going to be forgotten.
Wow.
When I left something that I love, I saw Tye when I was 12 years old and determined in my heart I was going to play with him.
Wow.
I didn't meet him till I was 18 after that. And he saw me. I see him at 12. He becomes my hero. He sees me at 18, and I become a part of his experience. And not just become a part of it, but become one of the anchoring parts of the band.
Uh-huh.
And then I leave something that I was instrumental in helping build with nothing, became homeless, moved to a foreign town. And I'm like, who's gonna find me now? Why? Like, that happened by accident. So what else is gonna happen? So when my phone would ring and Aaron calls me, and I wasn't looking for anything that happened. I wasn't even working for it. It wasn't like I was hitting cats like, yo, remember me from Tye? Give me nothing. I wasn't doing none of that. I was doing what God said. I was in obscurity. I was serving at my church.
Wow.
I was asking my pastor, can I do this? I was doing all of that. And I was humble. And I was telling you earlier, the Lord just gave me a revelation on the word humility or humble. And when we always think of the word humble, we think get low.
Right.
Yo, you know I'm gonna be, you know what I mean? You know what, you being a jerk, but I'm gonna go ahead and be humble. I ain't gonna show up, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna show up and be humble. No, that's called being meek.
Yeah.
Power under control. That's being meek. Humble is a different thing. And the Lord started revealing to me what the word, he said, do you know that humble is related to the word humiliate?
Jesus.
To be humble is to be humiliated.
Jeez.
That's a different approach to thinking of what that means.
Approach.
If you think of being humiliated from the humility, being humble from the place of being humiliated, God gives grace to the humiliated.
Wow.
If you are somebody who's been humiliated, you are the one who is open for God's grace. There's so many people who walking around who won't dare be humiliated. You ain't gonna humiliate me.
Right.
You ain't gonna make me look like no fool.
Jeez.
The pride that we hear people talk about, I was humiliated. When I left GA, I was humiliated. Wow. I was humiliated. I was shamed. I was like a bum.
Jeez.
I was a bum. I'm the bottom of I lost everything. I ain't had nothing. I was homeless. I was running from the freaking car people because I had to keep moving because they would have removed my joint. I dodged them mugs so well.
Jesus.
That I dodged them long enough for me to get the money to pay it off.
Wow.
And then when I finally paid off, the car broke down. But it was like, maybe that was what the Lord was like, this is your punishment. But when I say I have been humiliated, the butt of a joke, I'm not going to get this royalty for this song. This ain't going to happen. This opportunity ain't going to happen. I'm not going to bless you. Whatever.
Yeah.
I've been humiliated. And I didn't understand why. So then when the doors opened and the phone calls came, I'm like, I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm a bum.
Wow.
I'm a bum. That's what I felt like. When my wife and I had my son, Matthew, he was 1 pound, 11 ounces, born 6 months, at the 6-month mark. The smallest kid in the NICU. There were other parents who had kids that was 3 pounds,
Jeez.
2 pounds. My child was the smallest child. He was small.
Dang.
Other people were crying, and we're going over to minister people. God took my humiliation, me being broken, and he allowed us to minister to people in our broken place.
Jesus.
And serve. And me and my wife, I watched my wife comfort other mothers whose kid was better off than our kid. But we were humiliated. We didn't have nothing. The recession, I'll never forget. things started going well for us in Baltimore. I still, at my church, I started off as the organist, then I became an MD, and I became a minister of music. And me and my wife went out and bought this nice big house. I mean, nobody in our family ever lived in a house like this. We buy this house in Hartford County, just the nicest 2-car garage. We finally made it. Oh my God.
Right.
The recession hits, we lose it. Humiliated. Because we didn't have, when I got the house, we had people come over. I did my first album, Digital Flow Volume 1. Yeah. We had the house party there.
Jesus.
I invited neighbors, friends, come on my house, celebrate us.
Yeah.
I wasn't bragging, but I was like, wow, God, I can't believe I'm here.
Exactly.
And we lost that house in 4 months.
Jesus.
Humiliated. And so what we going to do, babe? I don't know what we're going to do. We can't, my income at that time at the church had to get cut in half. They couldn't afford to keep paying me. So I lost my house, lost that. So what we going to do? Get a call to move to Alabama. I would have never thought to move to Alabama. That was not on my radar. It's not like, when I get to a certain point, I'm gonna move to Alabama. It's not no shade to Alabama. It's just that in the trajectory of what I was trying to do, it's not like that's not what I saw. So when my boy called me and said, Alabama's looking for such and such, I said no immediately. And things was getting rough. This was like December. It's like December of 2009. And I'm like, no, I'm not moving to Alabama. Mm-hmm. Things was getting rougher and rougher. We were like, wait a minute. So I started to sense, a couple months went by, I said, Lord, did I miss you on that? Because I didn't even pray about it. I just was like, nah.
I'm not Alabama.
Not Alabama. So I said, if I miss you, Lord, if I missed you, I don't want to call them back and seem desperate.
Yeah.
Have them call me. The next day, Patrick Dobson called me.
Wow.
He said, hey, we'll at least come see it. I said, bring my family down and I'll come check it out. We came down for a weekend. We moved to Alabama.
Wow.
God started rebuilding us, started restoring us.
Piece by piece.
We got there little by little. I was still humiliated. Still in a humiliated season because I'm looking on TV, GA is winning. They killing. It's like I'm watching my friends win.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand, like, God, I was following you. I'm following you. What's up? Mm-hmm. Let me tell you something. If you are a person who loves God, you following God, and you are suffering humiliation, believe me, you are in the favor of God.
Wow.
You are a recipient of his favor. You just haven't reached due season, so you have to endure. You got to endure that season. The Bible says, you will reap if you faint not in due season. Yeah. So the key is make it through this wilderness. Yeah. Don't let the sun beat you all the way down. Drink what you got to drink. Get your inspiration where you need to get it. Mm-hmm. Keep moving. Mm-hmm. And then you're going to come out that thing. God started opening doors, man. So we moved to Alabama. That didn't really work out because it wasn't something my wife really liked, but I made some great, powerful connections there. Yeah. And came back home. Let me tell you something, man. We came back home and it just seemed like I don't know God because everything fell through. You thought I was homeless once, I was homeless again.
Jesus.
When we left Alabama and came back home. I think I share this side because if people hear the credits, they're like, yo, they don't know what the parallel to the credits was. That's what I'm looking at credits like, yo, why the lights off? I can't read the credits. The water's off. Let's go to the dollar store and get mad jugs of water to pour in the toilet because it stinks in this house. Like, humiliation has been my middle name.
Jesus.
Like, I don't know nobody who came from, I don't know from Soundcheck who went through what I went through. I don't know. I'm sure they've been there through their things. Yeah. I'm sure. Everybody has their story. But I'm saying I just was isolated. I was in my own space. I was humiliated. Jeez. Humiliated. I've had people when I came home, when my Ford Explorer that I told you, that finally like got caught up. I finally finished paying it off. Yeah. The engine went on that thing. I'm on a corner. I'm on the main road in Jersey, and somebody stops by who recognizes me and offers to help. Are you Parris Bowens? Yeah. And yo, you need help? I was like, yeah, help me get this off the side of the road. Pushed it off the side of the road, waited for the tow truck company to get it, and this guy gave me a ride to my apartment. Wow. So this guy is telling me, like, yo, man, I'm a big fan, and oh my God, I can't believe I'm Parris Bowens is in my car. And as he's driving, he's like, yo, can I ask you a question? Mm-hmm. I said, you Parris Bowens, you've been on all these records, been on tours.
Yeah.
He said, I expect you to be driving a Benz. And then he pulled it to my apartment and he was like, I thought you would be living in a mansion.
Yeah.
He said, that's the perception that we get when you from the outside looking in.
Yeah.
And it was like, I was humiliated when he was saying it. Now my apartment was a nice apartment. I thought so. Yeah. I know how hard I work. Yeah. I know what I'm doing with my family.
But like you said, the expectation.
If you're looking at all these credits and you like, this dude been working. You're on records. Yeah,
that means
you're on tours.
We
see pictures of you with the artists.
Yeah.
Yo, you must be eating. And you watch me, a Ford Explorer. He's like, I thought you would ride the Benz. My Ford Explorer broke down. Sheesh. You take me to my high-rise apartment and you like, I thought you was gonna be living in a mansion. Humiliation.
Bro.
That's humiliation.
But that's real though.
It's real. But see, I've never been, I wasn't embarrassed of my life.
Yeah.
It was my life. It wasn't until the people from the outside looking in say stuff to you.
Yeah.
I'm like,
mess you up.
You expected something else. I'm just living. So I'm experiencing so at that point, then I'm like, man, I'm a loser.
Wow.
I'm a failure. I'm in this music industry. I'm doing, and then I started dealing with, now I'm dealing with depression.
Yeah.
Mental health issues.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that's what it was. We never talk about that in the Black community. But I'm this self-worth, self-value, like, and my wife would have to pick me up off the floor so much.
Man.
And then of course introduce diabetes into my life. My second son gets born, and my son was born premature as well. Second son, 1 pound, 10 ounces.
Jeez.
Incubator for 4 months. He had massive complications, brain hemorrhaging. And so ended up having his head blow up, hydrocephalus. My son in his first year of birth had 3 brain surgeries.
Jesus.
The stress of that. Seeing your little baby, having the doctors tell you, take your baby off life support because he's not going to have a good quality of life.
Jesus.
But I look at this beautiful child in this incubator, smile, look up at me, and you want me to kill my child?
Right.
No. Heck no. He's here. We're going to fight for him.
Yeah, exactly.
And they gave us hell. And they look, oh, poor little Black couple. Y'all don't know what y'all doing. Y'all don't know what y'all getting yourself into. Humiliation. We didn't have nothing at the time. We really didn't have much. We was in between homes and living on couches of family members. I've been through some humiliating, in the middle of all these credits.
Right. It's humiliation.
I'm still working. I would still go out and do a show. I'm in Abu Dhabi somewhere doing an amazing show. It's great. Yeah. This check that I get that's so amazing is going to cover the last few months that I haven't been able to pay bills. Wow. Humiliating. A lot of this looks great.
Yeah.
It hurts.
Yeah.
The joy that I get is from my wife and my children, from being able to play and use a gift that God gave me to inspire, to encourage people. But what it costs is no joke. It hurts.
Yeah.
Humiliating and painful. And that's not the end all be all, but the point that I'm trying to make is a lot of people look at everything on the outside and the grass is never greener. The grass is only green where you pour water.
I love that. My saying on that is the grass, they say the grass is green on the other side. But the thing is, when winter comes, it all turns brown.
It all does.
Everybody's great. You're gonna look over in your neighbor's yard, and that grass that was green in the spring is brown in the fall, and that's just the cycle of season. Yep. And when winter comes, and winter is going to come in everybody's life.
Yeah,
that green grass is going to turn brown. Sheesh. It doesn't matter how green it looks right now. At some point, it was either brown before, or it's going to be brown in a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's just the cycle of life. It's the cycle of seasons. And that's, man. But like you said, that's real. That's real life. And so, like you said, this and that's why I love doing this stuff like Musician Mondays. It's to help the community. I didn't know this story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But hearing the story behind the glory gives me a whole different perspective on Parris as a person, Parris as a father, Parris as a musician, Parris as a producer, Parris as a MD. You know what I mean? And I think what I heard in the point what you were making is that the credits tell one story, but the credits is not the full story. In between was those humiliating points.
It's almost like they're the soundtrack. Those credits or those songs or those records were the soundtracks of the woman.
But your life is
so
the
I
movie.
can hear I could hear a song that everybody like, yo, that's one of my favorites, and it reminds me of a very hurtful time.
Jeez.
It's a worship song, and it reminds me of a hard time in my life. That's a soundtrack for the time. Man, that year that my son was born is a specific record I won't say. That when I hear it, it just brings all the emotions back.
Jeez.
It's a worship song. It's a great song. But every time I hear that song, I'm reminded of seeing my son in the incubator and his head blowing up, and they can't touch him because he's too young.
Jesus.
And so they had to just keep letting his head blow up with fluid. And then finally he got old enough, and they put a shunt in his head, and then they had to correct it, and they had to correct it. Very painful time.
Yeah.
You know, and hard to see. Now, to be on the other side of things, man, I thought I would never get out of that dark tunnel.
Yeah.
Usually when you're in the tunnel, you can see a little light in the tunnel. I was in the tunnel for so long, I couldn't see no light. And I'm like, am I even walking in the right direction? Because I don't see nothing. I'm in darkness. And God would send key people into my life that just would be anchored people that just cover you in prayer when you can't pray for yourself.
Yeah.
God will send people who would pray for you, who cover you, who look out for you. And it's some key people that's been in my life that really got me through that season. When I listen, I promise you, I wasn't no Job. Like, no, it wasn't no, he slay me. I'm like, why are you slaying me? You know, why slay me? What in the reason? I was crazy.
Yeah.
And of course, I've repented later, but in that season, I was like, you what? Job was a sucker. Like, you crazy? Now we know he got double for his trouble and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I know what I was going through. I was not happy about any of my trouble. I couldn't worship. I couldn't do any of that. It just felt very unfair. I felt like God, like, you got your foot on me.
Wow.
What is going on? Why am I so close to wealth and success and it's not materializing in my life?
Exactly.
I would have opportunities right at my fingertips and then it would just get stripped.
Jesus.
And I'm like, that's the definition of a curse, ain't it? I mean, I was just like, what the freak? And my wife would be like, I ain't claiming that crap. My wife was like, nah. You want to say you curse? Don't you claim that? Don't you speak it over me? But I'm just looking at the facts. Like, it's all seeming like, and it wasn't until literally not too long ago, I'm like, the Lord's like, Parris, you asked for me to keep you humble.
Wow.
Things like that. But you didn't know what humble meant. And to be humiliated, to be embarrassed, to be caught with your pants down, to, your hair's not cut. This is not what it's supposed to be. People, man, I would see people who know me by name, and they would see me and they would size me up and look at me because of who they know me to be, but then count me out because I don't look the part. Why you don't got a haircut? Why you don't got this? I couldn't afford one. The money that I was making was to feed my special needs child, to buy medicine.
Jesus.
The year my son was born, I was diagnosed with diabetes. So then my life changed, and as a musician, we don't have insurance.
Right.
So my first diabetic bill when I went to go get medicines was $350. Like, wait, what? What? To stay alive.
To stay alive, dog.
If I don't do this, I die. I was fighting to live. And most cats don't know that. And I would hear the criticism.
Yeah.
People mad you don't call them back. You ain't do this. Why you don't show? Why you ain't come support? Why you ain't do? Because I was literally fighting for my life.
Yeah.
Every day since 2012, fighting for my life, fighting for my baby's life, and my wife who had to carry that baby and the damage that came to her. And then I have another son who's healthy, who's like, what's wrong with everybody else in the family? And we still got to take care of him. It was a crazy journey. And it wasn't something that even people in our family could understand. Yeah. Because they don't got a special needs child. Yeah. They've never had premature children.
Facts.
They didn't lose the 2 children that I lost my first and my last baby.
Facts.
No joke. These are prices you pay. Oh, you got a spotlight. You're in the front. I would hear people ask me, yo, how'd you get that? How'd you get that call? Why? I'm like, first of all, on one side, I work on my craft. Yeah. No matter what I'm going through, I'm going to always run to that keyboard and just, usually that's what my therapy.
That's what the release is. Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm not a slouch on what I do, but on the other side, I'm paying a price that y'all don't even see. You have no idea. So even like, let me say, I'm so grateful to God that I'm standing and I'm alive today. Yeah. I survived some things that I watched kill other people.
Right.
And
that's what I was about to say. Like, man.
And then on the flip side, I felt like for a long time it wasn't raining. Then God just started raining.
Mm-hmm.
He started raining, and it's raining and raining. And I never forget when I got the call from Nord September to play at NAMM, and some people found out. I experienced some genuine hate. Like, yo, what in the world? Like genuine, yo, how'd you get that?
Mm-hmm.
As if I ain't been working for 20 years. Influencing, putting music out that maybe you don't know I did to actually help inspire you to become who you are.
Right.
And genuine hate that, yo, you doing that? What you mean? Like you playing? And I mean, it's amazing to experience. It's amazing to feel that from people who have no idea what you've gone through. No idea. And I'm not saying that this is happening for me because I'm deserving of it.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever God has for you, he doesn't do it because you deserve it. He does it because he wants to do it for you.
That's good.
And the key is you just have to endure to the point till you can get to what he has for you. He got packages for all of us. You got to make it to the gift.
That's good, man.
You got to make it to it. And I survived to the day I thought I was going to die last year. I played NAMM 2020, but I thought I was going to die in 2019.
Jesus.
Of diabetes. My health was so bad. My doctor was like, you don't change, you're going on dialysis. You're going to die, Parris. So I had to make a drastic, let me stop everything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry I can't do this gig, I can't do that, I can't answer your calls, can't. And I start focusing on me.
Yeah.
Because I'm so used to doing everything for everybody else, and then me the one pay the price.
Exactly.
And when I did that, bro, I feel the best that I felt my entire life.
Jesus.
I've never felt this good since I've been sick.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, God, you was trying to get me to live so I could see the promise, so I could see what you had. And I am now starting to see God open doors and create promises. Yo, it was always my dream to be endorsed with the company. Now, I didn't want to be endorsed for endorsement's sake.
Right.
I wanted to be endorsed by something I believed in, something I liked.
Exactly.
And the company I liked was like, we like you. Oh my God. And so I literally just came back from Sweden and I shot a video with Nord with their new brand of keyboards and just made a great relationship. And there's so many other things I can't speak of. I'll let the testimony speak for itself. But I'm like, if you don't know what I've been through and you see things happening for me and you like, yo, how come this happening for him and whatever, I'm here to tell you, dog, it ain't come without those scars.
Yeah.
It ain't come without a price. Some smoke. Like they say when the Hebrew boys came out of the fire, y'all couldn't smell the smoke, see the fire. My story shows it.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the scars. You can smell the smoke.
Mm-hmm.
My story doesn't go without evidence.
Bro.
You know what I mean? But I'm grateful to show it because there's other people going through some stuff and they don't know if they can make it.
Yeah.
Can you make it through this mental health issue? Because some people are trying to throw me pills, like, yo, you need to take some pills. No. Part of it is because of what I'm going through.
Exactly.
And sometimes you just got to get on the right path, get things corrected, get things in order, and you'll do good.
Yeah.
So I'm just, for me, I'm a beacon of light for people.
Yeah.
Who are sitting in a dark tunnel and don't know that there's a light.
You're being that what I said at the beginning of 2020. I told another friend, I said, God is, we talk about being transparent, but we haven't really, a lot of us haven't really mastered that art of being transparent. We've become mirrors instead of becoming windows.
Wow, that's good.
So a mirror reflects back to you what you see. Like you look in a mirror and you see back, you see your issues, you see the nose you don't like, you see the eye, you see all of the things that you think ugly about yourself. Yeah. So when people are mirrors, they reflect your issues back on you.
Yeah.
But on a window, you can actually look out it. It's transparent enough to where you can see through it. You can see the way out. You can see. So I told God, I want to be a window. I don't want to be a mirror. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So it's like, that's the epitome of what you just did for the last 30 minutes is give us a look out the window. Because there's some people right now, some musicians, some producers, some industry cats that's going through some of the same stuff that you're going through, that you've been through. Somebody right now is looking at, like you said, their child.
Yeah.
Somebody right now is dealing with the special needs. Somebody right now is dealing with those health issues. Yeah. Somebody right now is dealing with those things. They're wondering, are they ever going to come out of obscurity?
Oh my God.
You know what I mean?
That's real.
Like you said, they've had these credits, they've had these opportunities. Or feeling like, man, I had this gig and I walked away from it, or I had this opportunity and I left it, and now I feel like I'm in obscurity. I'm really praying that's why I'm just like, I've been silent most of it, just letting you just talk, because like what you're spitting is like, some people need to hear that. The story behind the credits. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. Like you can spout off credits, this person, that, but the story behind it and what was going on in between the calls, in between the records, in between the songs.
No joke.
Dude, that's no joke. That's diamonds right there that you just dropped.
And diamonds is developed through pressure. Good God. Ooh. Diamonds is developed through pressure. And you find them in dirt.
Jesus.
You find them in dirt. Deep.
Jesus.
Gold, diamonds, these things that are the most valuable things.
You find them in dirt.
Are in humiliating places. Places that you wouldn't sit and hang out. That's where you find these things.
Jesus, man.
And so when the Lord gave me that revelation on humility, it was like you couldn't have told me that sooner.
No.
Because I would have been mad at that. But now I'm appreciative. I'm like, it's almost like, Dad, Lord, if I knew the glory that's going to be on the other side of this story, I probably would have went through some more because of what it produces. At the time, I couldn't do it, and I'm like, so it's like this present suffering is not worthy to be compared to the glory that should be revealed in us. It's the truth. It's the truth. It's the truth. I did not, and it's not by we live in a generation where people they call themselves self-made.
Right.
If you are self-made, you are a terrible product. I'm just telling you right now.
I like that.
If you are self-made, you are a crap package. I'm sorry,
dude.
You heard it from my mouth. I don't want to be self-made. We don't know how to make ourselves.
Jesus.
How you gonna make yourself? You're not the originator. You are not the creator.
Come on,
you can't create yourself.
Come on, man.
I want to be what he makes me.
Come on.
Period. Jeez. I want to be sleep. You make me, God. Jeez. We do not have the capacity to make ourselves. And whatever you think you're going to make of yourself is not good. Period.
Jesus.
He has the blueprint. And he had to take... I've always been an idea man, a creator, always. Always had a path in mind. I could write a 5-year, 10-year plan. That's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
And everything I plan, God, like, no. No. The places I want to go, things I want to do, no.
Jeez.
Since I started pursuing my career, I've always been around wealthy people. Mm-hmm. Wealthy people. Why in the world am I not wealthy? God is like, why in the world are you around wealthy people? Because you're wealthy people.
Mm-hmm.
It just hasn't manifested. Wealthy people don't hang with poor people.
Facts.
Let's be straight up.
Facts. Big facts.
Let's be straight up. They don't. They'll give to you. Here's your charity. Here's your money. It's a tax write-off for me.
Right.
But we didn't hang
tax
it.
write-off.
They don't do that. There's a reason. There is a principle. There are laws that we don't respect that are written before we were even put on this planet.
Jesus.
And there are laws. Okay, you want to be associated with 9 people? You become the 10th version of the 9.
Jeez.
And we wonder why things don't change and God doesn't do this. And that. It's like, you don't respect my laws. You think you're going to jump off a building and survive? You don't respect gravity. You're not going to live. And this is how we do God's laws. This generation society has so disrespected God. And we think you think the state of the country that we live in is going to do good when we've cursed God and disrespected him in spades?
Nah.
What we see on the news is our fault.
Facts.
That is not God's fault. It is mankind's fault for being rebellious. Parris Bowens, some things I went through was my rebellion. And God was so good to me that he allowed me to be humiliated just so he can bring me back. But I'm sorry I got so intense. I'm always, my wife, she said I'm pretty.
Hey, you got your preacher voice on just for a second. You was going in. I was
the organ back there.
Right. We was about to go get on the keys, man. Go ahead and put a pad on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And kind of pad it on out. But yo, Jesus, I don't even know. I just want to give the benediction and then may his peace
Right.
be with you.
Till we meet again.
Because I'm telling you, that what you drop is it's diamonds, man. And it's not even gems, it's diamonds. And it's just so amazing to hear your story. I don't know if you've ever really told it in that full capacity that. That's
the only people who close enough to me, who has been close enough to me know.
But like
and not even in that way, because if the questions ain't asked, then you don't. Questions draw out things that are deep and that are hidden. So certain things will pull on it. But I think I wasn't even ready to tell it either.
Wow.
Because a lot of, I would never seen humiliation as a good thing.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
Yeah.
It's a good thing. We used to be kids in school growing up and we couldn't afford Nikes and things like that. My mom would go to Payless and Favor. And we were always humiliated. And I'm grateful that I was humiliated. I am grateful that the Lord saw fit to humiliate me because that means his favor is now pointing at me.
Wow.
And favor is, when the money runs out, favor will still exist.
That part.
When the gold, we already ran out of gold. We don't got enough gold to really cover the economy. So what are you living off of?
Favor.
If you ain't living off of favor, you hit. This economy, this government, this world, and I'm not gonna go into the preaching thing.
No, I know.
But the point is, I'm grateful and I'm humbled, not in the sense of man, I'm humble. Man, bless up, I'm humble. No, I'm humiliated.
Right.
And in my humility, God is glorified. That's the whole point. We become low so that he can be lifted up. He can be exalted. We die. To die is to be humiliated. That's exactly what it is. Die daily. Take up your cross and follow me.
Daily. Yeah.
It's embarrassing to carry. It was embarrassing for Jesus to carry a cross. That was embarrassing. I'm Jesus. Do you know what I did for y'all? And you got me carrying a cross? Humiliation. That's the culture. That's the culture of the believer. And the church is so proud right now. We are a proud people. We don't look like our Savior. We don't have his heart. We don't have his culture. We don't have his manners. We don't have his DNA.
Come on, dog.
How are you not humiliated? How is he humiliated and you're not? How are you proud and he ain't? No, you are of your father, the devil, who is proud.
Uh-oh.
Straight up, that's the word.
Ooh.
I was of the devil.
Yeah.
I was proud. God was like, oh, you mine. I'm going to beat you down until you're no longer proud. I can't be proud, y'all. Yo, I'm like, I was at NAMM and I was like, why am I here? I could cry right now. Like, I mean it.
Yeah.
I didn't even understand why I got the call. Because I had been so beaten down.
Yeah.
So so not relevant.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm in my lowest place is when that call came. And Cass is looking at me like, how you get this? What you know what I mean? Why is there favor on your life? Because I'm humiliated.
Come on, man.
That's the way.
You about to make me start crying.
That's the way. And I mean, your story, dude. I mean, we've been talking and breaking bread. This dude been blowing my mind just to hear his story. And I'm like, I see now.
Yeah.
If my people who are called by my name will be humiliated and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways,
I'll heal the land.
The problem that we have with our country will be taken care of. Mm-hmm. Donald Trump ain't gonna do it. Sanders ain't gonna do it. I don't care who's the president.
Yeah.
It's his people.
Come on.
If we will be humiliated, he will change the country. We worried about vote. No, be humiliated.
Yeah.
Be humiliated, and then God will move. That's how you move him. That's how you move him. You want to see God move? Be humiliated. Get low. Be humble. The real meaning. Not the I'm in control humble. No, I'm nothing. Where is that worship? We don't hear that in our services no more. We don't hear that type of worship no more. We're rich worshipers.
Ooh.
We're wealthy worshipers. What the heck? That's not God. That's not his way. It's not his standard. Take up your cross. And he made me carry my cross these years. It's no joke. And I'm grateful because even with the things that he's doing for me, it's still not me. Yeah. It ain't about me. Facts. It ain't about me. If I play, if I sing, if he give me an opportunity to be on the stage, have a platform, is to literally be a transparent, to show my scars. Like when Jesus came back, when he was resurrected, and Thomas was doubting, he said, I need to put my fingers through his scars. And Jesus was like, here, look at the scars. Touch him. Put your hands through my side.
See my humiliation.
Through me. Go through me. Here to see through. And we got to do the same thing, man. And it's not about Parris sucks, man. I found out who I was and who I was not. And then I saw what he wants to make me, but he got to make me. I can't make me. I was the declaration guy. I was the vision. I know what I want to do. I know who I'm going to be. I went to the network marketing. I went to conferences and things and sat there and spoke and said and all of that. And that was great. And God was like, now let's go through some darkness. Why? A photograph is formed in darkness. Is developed in darkness. He's like, you want to be developed? I'm going to put you through some darkness. And it was some gross darkness. It wasn't no joke. And I don't even know if he finished. I'm scared to think about that. All I know is he's in control. And we want to see change in our country, in our land, in our churches. We got to be humiliated.
That's the word, man.
We got to be humiliated.
That's
and
the word.
I never expected to ever share that. I thought that was something to just be between me and my wife because it don't sound good.
Yeah.
Be humiliated? Who wants to be humiliated? Nobody. Exactly. You don't become disciplined through doing things you want to do. You become disciplined doing things you don't want to do.
Facts.
That's where discipline is. He said, make disciples. You're disciplined through things you don't want to do.
I love that.
And so being humiliated is not something we want to do, which means that's the way. He said, broad is the road that leads to destruction, and many go that way. But straight is the gate, and narrow is the way to life, and few be there that find it. Only a few people gonna find life. Why? Because only a few people willing to be humiliated. Only a few people gonna be willing to do that.
So much legacy, so much history, so much that Parris was able to contribute to our community as a whole. And I hope you guys have enjoyed this special episode of the Hangout podcast, where we have attempted to honor and showcase the memory of our dearly beloved brother, Parris Bowens, a legend in our industry, small in stature, but tall in the spirit. And we pray that you are indeed resting in peace with the Lord. And we pray still blessings and encouragement to his family, to Dion, his children, all of those who are still reeling and processing this loss during this time. So I hope this video has been a blessing to you guys. I hope that it is giving you some value. Let's continue to lift up the Bowens family. Let's continue to remember our brother's legacy. We'll talk to you guys on the next episode. I'm out. Holla at your boy.